Hey folks, we're here once again. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I hope you were warm, you were safe, you had a good time with your family on Christmas. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Now we're about to enter into a new year, which will be late tomorrow night, of course 12 a.m. I'll be doing a video, a Happy New Year video. But anyway, continuing my superhero marathon. As y'all know, I've been on the 90s era of superhero movies. Funny enough, I'll show one later, but I bought one today. But anyway, hope you enjoyed my review of Death and the Incredible Hulk, which was last Friday. Now continuing with that, like I said, I'm going by years and months for these movies. And today I'm reviewing the 1990 superhero action comedy film Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990. This is the original movie. I love this film, guys. This is a classic. This film was like my introduction to the Turtles. Yes. If any part I grew up with the Ninja Turtles and I grew up watching the 80s cartoon, or the 2003 cartoon, which, again, I was still like the best versions like this one of the Ninja Turtles, in my opinion. Again, look at the 1990 film, just look at that one. Sorry. Yes, it's on a 4 film favorites of all the other sequels, the Secret of the Ooze and Turtles 3 and the CGI animated movie, which came out in 2007. But those will be reviews later, so I'm just reviewing this one only for today. That's it. Yeah. And you got the Turtles, which is that awesome poster of them just, opening the door to the sewer, and then all of them just looking out, which I thought was a cool shot. But I love this movie. Like I said, this is a classic. This is a dark version of the movie. Well, it is dark, but it's still got a sense of humor, though. But it's not as cheesy and campy as the 80s cartoon was. So it's a lot different from that cartoon. Because some of the Turtles comics, I've never read any of them, but I've heard most of them are really dark. And this film is dark. I mean, not dark enough. Well, I mean, it's dark, but not that dark where, there's blood and guts. But it's still a fun movie. Entertaining movie. I can say it probably happened mainly because of Tim Burton's Batman. I think we got a lot of superhero films in the 90s because of Tim Burton making, Batman and stuff, Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. I think that movie really boosted up, superhero movies to come back into the limelight because, this is way before also Marvel came around either, so, yeah. But this is also the first film adaptation of the characters, the first live-action film adaptation. So I'll get into the production of it and stuff, talk about the movie, how I do my reviews. But if you don't know, I'll talk about production, cast, stuff, give my final opinion on the movie, and talk about the movie itself. This is Jim Henson on the set of suit actors he created the suits for the Turtles. Show you a little picture there. Sorry, I'm so blurry. You can look it up on Wikipedia or here on the production, it's what I'm on, but it's really good picture, I think. The script is based mainly on the early Teenage Mutant Turtles comics, including the stories of the Turtles' origins, the rooftop battles, the origin to the farmhouse, and their battle with Shredder. Elements were taken from the 1980s cartoon animated such as Turtles' Colored Bandanas and Love of Pizza. Elements of Michelangelo's character and April O'Neil as Turtles reporter instead of a lab assistant. The film's budget was $13.5 million. Most of the production took place in North Carolina, with a couple of location shots in New York. So during the summer of 1989, to capture famous landmarks there, such as the World Trade Center, Times Square, the Empire State Building, and the Hudson River. Filming in North Carolina took place at the North Carolina Film Studios, where New York rooftop sets were created. Production designer Wilford Smith and his art director Gary Windsor went to New York City for four months prior to filming, and took still photographs of rooftops and other various locations while in New York City. Smith and Weston were Brooklyn to respond to the abandoned Brooklyn subway line as they could not gain access to a city sewer, but the structure of the subway had the same principle as the sewer. They also went to a water tunnel which had large pipes running through it. After design sketches were created, the construction team used the studio backlot to create some of the sets. There were lots of problems with the manholes that led to the Turtles' home, and that 8-foot square room had to be constructed beneath them, but found water at the above 5 feet, and those had to pour concrete into the other rooms to keep the water out. In order to make the sewer authentic, a timer was given, and it was covered with brick. Plasters took the paint to give the walls a realistic look. The Turtles' costumes in the movie were created by Jim Henson's feature shop. Jim Henson, he's known for basically, he passed away back in 1990. Yeah, I think this was before his passing. But you should know him that he created the Muppets, and he did direct some movies himself, like The Dark Crystal, Labyrinth. Yeah. Jim Henson said that the creatures were the most advanced that he had ever worked with. The creatures were first made out of fiberglass and then remodeled out of clay. They were produced as molds to cast the whole body in the form of rubber latex. It was the actors in the suits, but his actors also voicing the characters. The work at the creature shop was completed with 18 weeks. The costumes used state-of-the-art animatronics to make the face mask expressive. The mask included a set of animatronic mouths, eyes, and eyebrows, which were managed by a technic with the help of a computer. The computer could codify a set of expressions such as anger or what or awe, which were later programmed into the key to the joystick handed by the technician. Capture the movement was also used for the lips. The technic could wear a special helmet with cameras, recording the lips or pronouncing a phrase, and transforming the medical lips in the mask. Many major studios such as Walt Disney Pictures, Columbia Pictures, Universal, MGM, Orion Pictures, 20th Century Fox, whose parent company would acquire the Teenage Pearl, the rights to the character's property in 2009, and one of us turned down the film for distribution. I guess they Ninja Turtles, no, because I guess the 80s cartoon was so popular, they wanted to make a live-action movie out of it. Because all these studios were not interested. Turned down the film for distribution. They were, really despite the popularity of the cartoon and the toy line, which were popular at the time, and Turtles were, popular at this time, the film could just be about, so it's something like Master of the Universe, which is a couple of years prior. The film found distribution roughly halfway through the original production. Rather than small and independent production company New Line Cinema, they came to be thanks to, Freddy Krueger, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I think that was like their first big major hit movie was A Nightmare on Elm Street, which had been known for distributing low-budget B-movies and art house fare. According to Brian Henson, the film was finished production largely without Baron. Editor Sally Meek, who later edited many films with Quentin Tarantino, was removed by the production company Golden Orbis did not like her work. The film does have a good soundtrack, a good hip-hop soundtrack to it, just to mention that. This is what we do. This is what we do. I like that song. Spin That Wheel. I think my favorite was Turtle Power by... It's gotta be here somewhere. By Turtle Power by Partners in Crime. I like that song. That was an awesome song. Still is. Still holds up in my opinion. Then I like the soundtrack for the Turtles. The music for Shredder is very intimidating. The film, the marketing for the movie was all Entertainment Inc. Of course, the trailer, they really gave a good trailer out with good music to it. It's just, my issue with the trailer is some of the voices are not really done well in those trailers as they are in the movie. The film will go to VHS for film and entertainment. Of course, they should just price for 24, Pizza Hut engaged in 20 million marketing campaign tied into the film, that you could buy the movie on VHS, but you can also, get like a Domino's pizza ticket or whatever. I don't know, something like that. I know there were alternative versions of the movie. The UK version, using alternative shots of Michelangelo to conceal his weapon, his nunchuck weapons. Because I think at the time, kids were using these weapons, the nunchucks, and I guess they just wanted to hide that or whatever in the UK. Also, the scene is shot in the garbage tray was heavily edited. The Phil Collins song we had to change the word to ninja to hero. The film was released on VHS in 1990. It reached number 4 in the home video market, so it did pretty well in there. Some of the critics were not nice to the movie. Roger Ebert and Siskel Ebert didn't like it. From what I heard, a lot of parents didn't like this movie. Let's see. No, a little better. No, I'll turn the freaking light on. Not over my blinds because it's just too bright in here, sorry. But a lot of parents complained because the turtles used their weapons. That's too dark. But again, people. The title up here says Ninja. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're ninjas. They're turtles, but they're ninjas. So you're going to expect them to use their weapons. And of course, for the sequels, they would tone that down, though. Of course, you had the two sequels, Secret of the Ooze and Turtles 3, and then you had the TNT film, series of CGI animated movies, and of course, we got the Michael Bay ones, 2014, and the sequel, Out of the Shadows, in 2016, and then this year, I think we got, Mayhem. I saw it on DVD today, but I didn't want to get it. From what I've heard, it just didn't sound very good. Some people have been praising it, but I've heard mostly to the negative side of it, which I believe a little more, but that's just me. But for the cast of the movie, for the directing, you have Steve Barron directed. I think he came and directed the film a little later on in the production, maybe. But he's best known for directing music videos, but he did a really good job, I thought, in my opinion, directing this movie. Oh, he directed The Adventures of Pinocchio. Yeah, with Jonathan Taylor Thomason. I love that movie. That was a box office flop, but I love that film. Definitely an underrated movie. Never Seen a Rat. So he did best directing. It's a shame that he should have, did more movies. It's screenplays by Ty Lee Lagan, Bobby Herbick. Stories by Bobby Herbick. Trying to see if he worked on it. Not really. Okay. But Todd W. Lincoln. Characters, of course, the Turtles were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, produced by Kim Dawson, Simon Phillips, David Chan. I did talk about more of the Turtles' history if you watch my TV show collection for the 80s cartoon, a little more of their history. The music is by John DePriest, which I really liked his music score for the movie. He's worked on several other movies too. Mighty Python's The Meaning of Life, A Private Function, A Fish Called Wanda, some other movies I've never seen, I don't think. It's distributed by New Line Cinema. It was released March 30th, 1990. It's 93 minutes long. The budget for the movie was $13.5 million, and the box office made $202 million worldwide. Oh yes, like I said, for Jim Henson, this was one of his last projects before his death shortly after the premiere. It got received mixed reviews, like I said, with the complaining of parents and that, which was stupid. And the film was 1 hour and 33 minutes long. Oh, the cast. Okay, you have Judith Hawk as April O'Neil. She was also in a movie called Halloween Town. She was in Armageddon. She was in Cadillac Man with Robin Williams. She was in Predator, but she was in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. She's still the best, She's still a beautiful lady, I think, at 60 years old. Elias Koteas as Casey Jones, who is the streetwise vigilante and former ice hockey player. Although April O'Neil was a reporter for Channel 3 News. Casey Jones is a vigilante who, who was a hockey player. Elias Koteas, he's still the best one, in my opinion. I'm sorry, Stephen Amell, but you were not very good in Our Shadows. But Elias Koteas, I thought he was great, in my opinion, as Casey Jones. He's the only other movie I've seen him in was Collateral Damage with Arnold. I know he's played in another project. He was in Cyborg 2, the sequel to a Van Damme movie. He was in Zodiac. Now You See Me. Jay Parnas as Charles Payton, April's boss. Michael Cherney as Danny Picton. He was Charles' teenage son. Raymond Sealer as Stearns, the chief of police. You also have Sam Rockwell as head thug. He's an unmasked gamer, but he's like in charge of these kids. Sam Rockwell, he's been in many movies. He's a really good actor. He also did another comic movie. He was in Iron Man 2 as Justin Hammer. He was in, of course, The Green Mile, Galaxy Quest. I love those two movies he did. He's in other movies as well. Oh, Cowboys and Aliens, I remember that. But really good actor. I guess this is one of his early roles. Every time I see him here, it's like, that's Sam Rockwell. I'm thinking, Justin Hammer, Galaxy Quest guy. The Green Mile, great actor. And James Sato as Orokosaki, the Shredder, the leader of the Foot Clan. And here, the Shredder in the 80s cartoon, he's played for laughs, but here in this movie, Shredder is taken seriously, and he means business. He's not playing around. No. And I'll get more into the review. There will be spoilers in this review, so if you've never seen this movie, so don't watch the review if you've never seen it. But James Sato, I thought he did a great job. He's still the best actor to play Shredder, in my opinion. And of course, he would go on to be in the sequel, I think, where he was in Home Alone 3 as a mob boss. Yeah, he was in Die Hard 3. Oh, I guess he didn't do the sequel. Skeet Ulrich and Scott Wolf appear as unnamed members of the Foot. Skeet Ulrich, you'll probably remember him from Scream. Of course, he was Billy Loomis. Scott Wolf. Kevin Eastman has a small cameo as a garbage man. Kevin Eastman also, created the puppet, I think, Jim Henson, but he did the voice for, he voiced Splinter, I think. No, I'm sorry, not Kevin Eastman, I'm sorry. One of the creators, I'm sorry. Forgive me. But the voice cast you up Brian Tush as Leonardo, the leader of the Turtles, and who has the blue bandana, and of course he has the swords, He was in the Police Academy movies. Josh Paez as Raphael. He's the strong and basically the turtle with the temper, And the turtles' personalities are different as, as Raphael is angry in this one. He's not as wisecracking as he is in this series, You have Corey Feldman as Donatello, the smart one of the turtles, as well. And here, Donatello, that's one of the issues that he's more like Michelangelo Part 2. We don't really see him use gadgets or creating gadgets or anything. So, but Corey Feldman, I thought, did a good job voicing him. That's just my opinion. But y'all should know him for films like, he did movies like Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, Gremlins, Stand By Me, The Goonies. Robbie Wrist as Michelangelo, the youngest turtle who's, more the funny one. Robbie Wrist, who I thought did a great job. He also voiced him for the sequels. I think Corey Feldman came back for the third movie. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah, he did, I think. Yeah. Kevin Clash as Kevin Clash. Yeah, he's basically known, of course, for voicing Elmo in Sesame Street. He also performed puppets for Labyrinth and Dinosaurs. And of course he provided the voice for Splinter, the Turtles' master and father. David McClung as Orokosaki, the Shredder. Michael Marcro as Master Treshu. All four actors who played the Suit Turtles also appeared in cameos. Dave Foreman as gang member, Michael Sister as a pizza delivery man, the Chief Tedden as messenger of the Foot, and Josh Fish as a passenger in a taxi. Paris was the only actor to portray a turtle on screen and also provide his voice. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. But I'm sorry, we're at 18 minutes in. I'm sorry. Can't help but talk about the history of the turtles. But pretty much the plot of the movie. Plot synopsis of the film is that in this movie, of course, there is a crime wave going on in New York City, and a mysterious radioactive ooze this mutates four sewer turtles into talking, upright walking, crime-fighting ninjas. Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, and Leonardo, they're trained in the art of the Jitsu ninja, arts by their rat master sensei, Splinter. When a villainous rogue ninja, the Shredder, who was causing all this crime wave with his Foot Clan, who is a former pupil of Splinter, or has a history with Splinter, arrives and spreads awareness of the city, committing crimes, basically trying to take over the city. And he kidnaps Shredder kidnaps Spooner, and so the Turtles have to band together, and they have to, fight the Foot Clan, and of course, eventually go up against Shredder himself and save their master and defeat Shredder. And along with the help of reporter April O'Neil and another ally, the vigilante ice hockey player Casey Jones. So, if you've seen this movie, which I'm sure a lot of you probably have, a lot of you hadn't, okay. Like I said, there were spoilers in this review. So that's the plot in a nutshell. Sorry for the bad pun there, but... Alright. I'll get to talk about the movie itself, then I'll give you my final opinion of the movie, or any issues I have with it, but this will be spoilers. I'll put it in the description below, so don't be watching this video if you've never seen the movie. Yeah. By Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1990 film? Okay, let's get into it. The movie starts off with, I like the theme of April O'Neil. She's doing a newscast on the Sudden Wave crimes. People, the Foot Clan, they're having these teenagers. Shredder has these teenagers stealing items from people. Some people don't know it because they're teaching, these kids to be like ninjas. They're stealing from them, and you see them giving the Foot Clan stuff, in trucks. They're stealing through trucks. This lady gets her VHS stolen, or tape, or VCR stolen. Something like that. All these robberies are happening, and they don't know what's going on. And of course, it's, it happens without warning, without witnesses, so the police can't do nothing about it. The kids are glimpsed of the robbers. It seems a teenager, but they never see their face, so they can't report it to the police. And later than that, April, who works for Channel 3 News, she just leaves just to go home. She gets scared by a rat, just, and she ends up walking right in the middle of these teenagers, of course, who are the thieves, are stealing equipment. It's like, bad move, sweetheart. It's like, you know what, you're right, I'll walk away. And she goes to walk away, they chase her, like, get her, they knock her down to the ground. All of a sudden, this light gets knocked out, and of course, it's the Turtles, but all you can hear is, knocking them out. Next thing you know, the lights turn back on. The light is turned back on. These, they're tied up, and for the police to get, April grabs, Raphael's weapon. Which, what's he use again? Oh, the twin side, yeah. The twin side, okay. April sees it, picks it up. Raphael sees it, he's looking through the sewer. He's just opening the front of the sewer, looking, he's like this. Damn! Then he gets to introduce the Turtles, which we get to see them in the first 10 minutes of the movie, so not too bad. But then we're saying, Bossa Nova! He's like, Bossa Nova? Cowabunga! From fun. And since he lost his other, katana, Raph is mad. He's like, damn! Pissed off about it. And then they go to Splinter. But they calm down with the joking, and, Leonardo goes up to him and says, "What you've seen? I was like, good. He teaches them, tells them about the art of jiu-jitsu, of what they have to learn. And I thought it was funny when Michelangelo goes to goes to the payphone, goes to the phone and orders a pizza. And, he's like, and there's a noise, Splinter picks up a book and throws it like, he's like, Michelangelo, stop, get over here now. Then he tells him, Splinter tells him, you must learn all the master of ninjutsu, because one day you will be out with me. His words are very wise. He's like, no, we're going to meditate. And then all of a sudden, Donatello and Michelangelo just start dancing. It's like, ninjutsu. And he's like, well, this is like meditating. Raphael, who was pissed off and trying to tell Splinter that, I can get the katana back, He's like, Raphael, let it go. It is calm, let it go. And Donatello was like, it's okay. And he pushed Donatello, and Donatello pushed him, and they pushed each other, and he's like, stop. But as they're dancing, like I said, they're dancing, Raphael goes to see a movie. I think he goes to see Critters. He's, of course, wearing a trench coat, and so he can't go out, because he's a turtle, can't let you just walk out in public. He's like, how did they come up with this stuff? Raphael just come back from the movies. This teenager, robs this lady of her purse. Raphael trips him up, and looks like he's like, points at his katana, they run. And then Casey jumps up. I was like, oh, you get pussy and learn a lesson. Hits him with a hockey, with a hockey, But meanwhile, though, Michelangelo, I forgot to mention, they do get the pizza. And like I said, Mikey's his usual self in here. He's the funniest of them, the jokiest of them. Donatello tries to ask him, about, Mikey, you ever think about what Splinter said about not needing them and all? And he's like, pizza dude's got 30 seconds. I mean, I think he kind of hides his pain. I'm not saying Mikey's all about being a jokester. He does have a serious moment to him, but I think he hides it with his humor. And the pizza guy, he's like this. He's like, alright dude, here's your $10. And he grabs it out of his hand. He's like, give me that. He's like, this is $10. It was 13, pal. He's like this. Well, you were 30 minutes late, dude. Sorry. He's like, the guy's like, I gotta get in for you. Thought that was funny. And they have pizza. He slices, and he dices, and they have pizza. One of the pizza hits Splinter in the head. It's like, oops. Like I said, with a hockey stick, with side skirt on. There's Casey Jones, wears that cool hockey mask, beating these guys up, and he's like, I'm teaching these guys a lesson. You stay out of my way. He's like, looks like you need me to taught a lesson, pal. He tries to swing at him. He's like, they should come up with this stuff, And he does knock him down. He sees what he looks like. He's like, what are you, some kind of freak, bald-headed freak, weird was one. And they fight a little bit. He gets him. He's like, Raphael knocks his butt down, or knocks him down. Because his case is like, Raphael wins. And he's like, cricket. He's like, what's cricket? Cricket. Like, do a little bit about what cricket is. He's like, I'll teach you. Hits him up. And then he calls him a freak. And that pisses Raphael off. He's like, freak. You come back, I might finish with you. And then he runs over to this taxi and he's like, is that a turtle? And he's like, and Raphael just smells like, damn. And then Raphael goes back home. Splinter's waiting on him. Let's talk with him about his anger. He's like, my master Ushi, would say to me, control your emotions. I have tried to temper your anger, Raphael, to help you to control it. But for more remains, you want to fight this enemy alone. But you cannot do it alone. You need your brothers. He's like, Raphael starts crying. This was like a heart-touching moment. And he's like, it's okay, son. I am here. But don't remember, you don't have to fight this enemy alone. Don't forget your brothers. And plus, and also, don't forget me. He's like, I'm here, my son. Good father-son moment. We get that scene in the morning where April is in her apartment. Her boss is telling her don't push too many buttons, to be careful to talk about his son Danny, who was also part of the Shredder's crowd. But and I forgot to mention that she talks to the chief, tries to question him about the foot. He says, because it's not, he says, Chief goes, I have no evidence, no proof of this. Don't go send it to me. Things we don't need to talk about this. He's like, well, maybe if you look a little more, Chief. She was like, are you trying to tell me how to do my job? And she gets yelled at because her boss Charles is worried about, the previous night her being attacked. He's like, you're gonna have a security to walk to your Stone Age car, Raphael follows her into the subway to retrieve his missing side, but the Shredder who watched her on TV, who reports, told the chief, you just see the shadow of the Shredder and throws a weapon at the TV like this. Find her. Silence her. And, she runs into the Foot Ninja, Foot Clan, whatever you want to call it. There's like, she told her, we've been waiting for you, Miss O'Neill. She's like, really? Did I forget my car payment? Or whatever she says, something like that. Trevor was like, your mouth is going to get you in trouble, Miss O'Neill. I have a message for you. Pulls out his hand. And slaps her, really slaps her and says, shut it. And she tries to pull out the side, the side. And they kick it over him, but then she hits her first, hits one of them, but then they knock her out. Raphael shows up, gives him a knockout. Three of them are still up, and Raphael gets away. But one of the Foot Ninjas, they follow him. He's headed back to the sewer. Raphael thinks he hears somebody following him, then he just, keeps walking. But Foot Ninja's right behind him, following him. And then they see them. He sees the turtles where they're at, and of course, you can imagine he goes reported back to the Shredder. April wakes up, because Shredder, Spinner, just touches his head, make sure he's okay. Doing her elbow, she's like, freaked out because she's seen a talking rat, so she doesn't know what to think. She's scared, she sees the turtles scream. It's like, if you calm down, Miss O'Neill, he knows my name. And then she says something sarcastically funny, like, why can't I just ever get an interview with Harrison Ford? Or something like that. And she tells him about their past, that when he was, he's just a normal rat, that he came, because he was Masaushi came to America because Masaushi died. There's a full tale of that part of the story, but that he was in the sewers, he found the turtles, they ended up in this ooze, this radioactive material, that he noticed that one they were growing bigger, all of a sudden they were growing, he was changing too. They grew into babies and they started talking, because one of these people's like, pizza, and then you can see the turtles program fight. He's like, I told them, he's like, one of them is saying, radical. And I gave all four of them names. Leonardo, Michelangelo, that's me, Michelangelo says, and Donatello, Raphael. And the Foot Ninja, he's peeking into the turtles' home. The turtles didn't take April home, and they said, welcome to 9th Avenue. Okay. And she's like, I'm sorry guys, I have nothing but you, maybe frozen pizza. And then Michelangelo, you said the magic word. And Leonardo was like, did she just say pizza? Yep, pizza. And they go for it. Michelangelo is intimidating Rocky, which is funny. Raphael was just touching her fish tank, this fish tank or whatever. And she's like, that must be Splinter's favorite. And they're like, Because Splinter's Jerome. It's like, guys, it was joking, and then they laugh about it. He's like, see you later, April. And then they, wait for her to buy. He's like, can we see you guys more often? Well, that depends on how much pizza you have. But mine. They go back home, joke around a little more, just walk back home too. And they say, wait. And then they break in, it's like, the home is torn and Splinter's been kidnapped. And they're just like, shocked, like can't disbelieve like what happened, and Raphael just just sounds like just lets out this yell, which some guy can hear it, Then they go to, they're outraged. They return to April's home. They spend the night at her place. She's like, what's wrong? Splinter's been kidnapped. Let's go kill her. And they want to hear about where he's at, or if April can help them. And of course, his son Danny was arrested. And I guess you say Chief Stearns blackmails him because of his son. So he goes to April's home, tells her to relax and not pursue Bubba's turn that day, just to leave Stern alone. And the turtles are hiding. Danny sees Michelangelo in the background. Well, not in the background, but through a mirror, sees him hiding under a table, and he hides. And then you have presumably John Till hiding on the top of the shower. And she gets up and was like, well, that was a close one, hi, April. And, because Mikey's scared. His dad tells him, Dan, why are you going to school, right? And he was like, Danny, where are you going, Danny? And then you see the Foots high out that song, this is what we talk about, kids doing basketball, smoking. Yeah, Sam Rockwell there, like I said, version, a younger Sam Rockwell there was like this. This is way before he did the Green Mile, or Galaxy Quest, or Iron Man 2, way before all that, or Cowboys and Aliens. He's like, smoking, you got regular, a minty, something like that, he says. Yeah. But then, you have Mr. Tashu, I can't say his name right, but he's like Shredder's main man, or whatever I guess you say man henchman. I guess, in charge of Shredder's Foot Clan. In charge of them, sorry. In charge of them. One of the kids bumps into Mr. Tashu, and he's like, go, play, And he watches one of the students fight, and he does the fighting with one of the students. And he bows down to the guy, kicks him up. He's like, never look at the eyes of your enemy. Never vouch for an enemy. He's like, yes, sensei. And then Shredder comes. I love the Shredder, the theme for the music. Like I said, he's not playing for laughs. He's very taken seriously here. But he's not played for jokes. He's very serious. He's like, it is a great honor that you will wear this Foot Ninja mask. I want you all to become members of the Foot. You are here because the outside world rejects you. But not me. I am your father. This is your family. Together we must take on these freaks, these turtles. Find them. And then of course Danny says, Master. Shredder looks. He sees Danny, and Danny tells him the location where they're at, April's apartment. April ignores, her boss's warning, Charles' warning, and she takes another stab at Chief Stearns. And he gets angry. He said, I thought we had a deal. Raphael's angry. He's like, what are we going to do? We need to go now. We can't just sit here. So that's a sign from our great leader, huh? Just sit here and listen. Raphael and Donatello, Ralph and Leo have always been at each other's throats, at odds with each other. He's like, well, you like a jerk sometimes. This attitude of yours is not helping Ralph. He's like, maybe I ought to take my attitude and just go outside, go away. He's like, good, fine, we don't need you, go, Casey's on top of his roof, just as the music, he sees Raphael, he's a binoculars just to look more at him, and Raphael's just upset. You can say he's just angry and mad, because Raphael doesn't think, Ralph just wants to get in there and fight, He pretty much lets his anger cloud his judgment, And all of a sudden, the Foot Ninjas show up behind him because they know where they are. April comes back, and he's like, "Thanks, Mikey." You know, the York books. Mikey's like, sees the picture of her on the TV. Sees her on TV like this. I'm in love. You know, she called me Mikey. Yeah, but then you have Raphael fighting the Foot Clan a little bit. He just, you know, pretty good fight scenes. Again, the ninja fights in here, the fighting is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. He's like, "How do you guys expect to beat me?" And then they all mold him up, and he's like, "Good answer, good answer." Of course, they're fighting him, or they're beating him. She takes the turtles to owner to her antique shop. I guess she said that was her father's. They don't know Ralph's in trouble. I'm sure Ralph will pop back in any second, and then he falls through the window. And the Foot Clan come to face them. And, you know, Michelangelo is working as the nunchuck guy, you know, one of the Foot Ninjas who also has nunchucks like he does. It's like, "Ooh, a fellow shot player, huh?" You know, and they do this, he's like, do his move, and he's like, "Keep practicing," and turtles pick up and they fight them. You know, and it's funny fights going on, you know, pretty good fights here going here. Mr. T shows up, he's like, "Darn, attack the turtles." You know, they fight more. They got the music going, da-da-da, you know, they really smash them with their shells. It looks like they're shell out of luck. No, I'm just kidding, I'm sorry about the puns. But they put pretty good fights in there. You know, the floor is not going to hold, they fall to the bottom, and then all of a sudden, Casey Jones shows up. He's like, "Hey, what's your problem with my little green pal friend over there?" And then he sees April's like, "Whoa, who is the babe?" And he fights them off too, and the place gets set on fire, and they have to get out of there to escape. And Casey tells Leo to get out of there. He's like, "I'll keep you guys off, you know, I'll protect you." He listens to this phone message of Charles saying, you know, "I'm sorry, April, you're fired. You know, I'm sorry." And so he's like, "Get that right, pal." And then, you know, he escapes through the hole. And then Tash, you know, tells him to get out of there. But then the turtles, Casey and April, they escape to April's old farmhouse where she grew up. And Danny sees the damage he caused, and he feels bad. Then back in the hideout, Shredder's holding, you know, Shredder's angry, just walk in and punches Shredder. Shredder punches Splinters like this. "How do these turtles know how to fight like this? How do they know this?" He's like, "You will answer. Fine, that you can stay there and die." Then he looks at Mr. Tissue, angry Mr. Tissue. He's disappointed that they were able to defeat the turtles. He's mad at Tissue. Like I said, who's like in charge of the Foot Ninja. Maybe I get this guy's name right. Oh yeah, sure, shaking in command. Master Tashu. And it was like, you know, Shredder just looks at Tashu angrily for his failure, and him just pissed off, just hitting things, you know, knocks some of the Foot Ninjas out, and one guy, Foot Ninja's like, "Calm down, Master Tashu, calm down," and then Tashu hits him. He beats him up really bad, probably kills him. You know, Danny goes to Splinter, he's like this, "What is your name?" He's like, "Danny." "And Danny, you have no home to go to? No family?" My dad can care less about me, like, I doubt that is true. And Danny says, "Why?" "Because all fathers care for their sons." At the farmhouse where the turtles are recovering from their first defeat, they have to hide out, lay low for a couple days, just to make the, I guess, just to hide out, just to stay away from the, stay away from the Foot Clan. You know. Donatello's been hanging out with Casey Jones. Casey and April have talked. They do not get along. They start bickering. He tells them about her. He tells her about, that your boss fired you. I'm sorry that happened. She's like, did you get the wrong number? And they argue, and they just walk away from each other. Donatello, Donnie, and Mikey listen to it and just laugh about it. But even though they're arguing until there's some chemistry there between them, that they might actually like each other, because even you hear April narrating and showing these, which is good pictures of even Leonardo, just sitting there as they put Ralph in a tub, just because he's passed out. Eventually, Raphael does recover. He's like, what's the guy got to do to get some food over here? He wants some food. He's like, Ralph, about an onion, I'm sorry. He's like, Leo, don't, He's probably going to say sorry to his brother. He loves him. And then they give each other. That was a good brotherly moment in here. And then April and Donnie are watching, like, this is a Kodak moment, and they're laughing. And when Donnie laughs, you can see, like, the actors, if you pause it good enough, I think you can see the actor's eyes in the mouth. Casey and April go throughout, they argue, of course, like I said. He calls her toots. She doesn't like that. So they have a couple more arguments, but they eventually start to get along. One night they tell us about telepathic encounter with Splinter. Well, first because of Leo does some meditating. As if we get through to him, find out that he's alive. And they have this encounter with him at night. He's like, no playing around, alright, everybody do this. They're just training more. You see them training. Also, there's a scene where somebody, one of the turtles, I think it's Michelangelo saying, Splinter, a lot of people say that's Ralph. But from what I've heard, it's actually, Michelangelo. I do believe it's Mikey. You may not see the bandana color, but I do believe it's Mikey. Like I said, you even see Mikey, I think it's him, punching a punching bag, because he is angry too, upset, but he just hides it behind the humor sometimes. Can use that as a mask too. Humor can be. But this encounter, he does, it's unusual. All we learn, the jujitsu of meditation is that I love you all my sons, and they cry. You see, tears coming from, it looks like real tears from Mikey's eyes, and then crying, and just Raphael, like, what a moment, what a moment there, And then they tell Casey and April, we're ready to go back. Time to go back. They go back. It's raining in New York City. They go back to their hideout. They end up finding Danny hiding there. It's like, don't shoot. And Raphael's like, I don't think it's loaded, kid. Even Shredder talks about the turtles, like, a little earlier in the film, when they're doing their training, which is, of course, their training, in fact, the Foot Clan again. Shredder's like, something about their past. No, something about the way they fight. Something from the past. But apparently Casey is scared, doesn't want to admit it, but is scared of close in spaces. So he doesn't want to sleep in the truck, which isn't really comfortable. They, say, you're claustrophobic, and they laugh at him. Danny, I forgot to mention, stole April's money. But he also, is dreaming of what Shredder's words are saying, and what Splinter's saying, and goes to hide and runs back. To the foot hideout, where he's followed by Casey. And Splinter tells Danny about his past, like, about fathers, and that his father, a Master Ushi, I think, And he knew another rival, Oroku Saki, that they were always at odds with each other, or enemies. But this time it was the love of a woman. But of course, her name is Shinsu, and her heart was more leaning to Oshi's. And of course, Oroku Saki didn't like that, was jealous, so out of jealousy, they go to America just to get away from home, just to get away from the country. But Oroku Saki follows him to America. He murders Shinsu because when Makayushi comes home, sees his wife dead, and all of a sudden Oroku Saki with a sword comes up and stabs him. We don't see it, but he does kill him. And Splinter comes up, bites him, scratches him, and gives us a scratch on his face. And Oroku Saki, cuts off his ear. And I was left alone. That's a really sad story for what happened in Splinter's past. He's like this, and he goes to Danny, but you wear that symbol, the bandana you wear on his head, that's his symbol. And then Danny says, take it off. And Shredder's like this, what are you doing here, boy? He's like, nothing, you're lying. You're hiding something. He's just scared of Shredder, but Shredder, more down. Pulls his paper out and sees that Turtle's still alive. He's like, go back. Gives him extra tissue. Casey is able to sneak around. He grabs him on the foot, and remembers, knocks him out. Grabs him out. He's like, come on, kid, we gotta get out of here. Get you out of here. He's like, no, babe. And then he takes him and beats Splinter. He's like this, I'm a friend. My name's Casey Jones. Like, Casey. And then Tissue shows up and I let him go, beats up on Casey a little bit. He said, I don't think you're listening. What he did is he hits him more, and then Casey finds a golf club. Then he's like, 4, and then knocks him out. And then he's like this, I'll never call golf a doll game, a doll game again. He's like, well, let's get him. Somebody get him. What are you going to do? Huh? What are you going to do, boy? And he's like, we're a family. He was like, you call this and that family? And, pathetic. That's what he thinks. But Splinter says, you're not family? Splinter says, you're not. Sorry. Splinter says, the Shredder uses you. He cares nothing for you. All the people you hurt. And they don't listen, so they just walk out of there. They just let them go. And the Turtles have a fight with the Foot Clan. Foot Clan came to attack them, and after Shredder tells them they're alive, and the Shredder tells them that he's going to handle the Turtles himself, But the Foot Clan go to attack, and then a lot of these air vents, the Shredder going to beat them up, then more show up. And there's more humor going on. And, Donnie and Mikey are making the shell jokes, which I thought was funny. And, one of them tries to attack Michelangelo. He goes into his shell, knocks the guy up. He's like, I love being a turtle, and so good action there. And they fight these to the rooftops. They really knock them all out. And then all of a sudden, they encounter the Shredder. They're like, who's this guy? Well, let's just say he doesn't even can opener. But they don't know who Shredder is. He's like, you fight well in the old style of Jiu-Jitsu, but now you face the Shredder. And first Leonardo goes, pow, 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 he knocks him out. He's like, this guy's good. Michael and Donnie do rock, paper, scissors, try to fight him, but they get knocked out. And Splinter hit it, one with Casey Jones and Danny. She was happening, and then he goes to hide. And Foot Clan, I guess, 2 members of them try to go up there to help Shredder, but Casey's like, oh, even the odds, or something like that. He says some cool line, I forget, but I like the line. And he, hits the firehouse escape ladder that knocks him out, and he punches him out. Oop, still got it. And Leonardo just put up a good, decent fight with the Shredder a little bit. He manages to cut Shredder knocks him out, knocks him away, and they're like, okay, we can't fight this. But and people will complain, well, why can't they beat Shredder up? What Well, because it's personal. Because Shredder kidnapped their father, Splinter. So for them, they all want a piece of him. So it's very personal for what he did. And, you know, they try to fight him. It's like, enough games, you know. Because you know where Splinter is. Your fight is like this. You know, Michael tries to fight him. He's like this. He's like, you lost. Well, first of all, Leonardo says something, but they said they're tired of fighting with him. And then, you know, Raphael says, where's Splinter? And then Shredder says, the rat. So it has a name. It had a name. And then he's like, you lie. Leonardo says, and Shredder, you that smirk smile behind his mask is like this, you lie. You know. And Leonardo tries to attack him, and he, you know, Leonardo says, drop your weapons now. Has his weapon on him. He's like, got ready to kill him. He's like, now your undoing will be his fate. Like, ha. You know, he tries to kill him, but Splinter shows up. He's like, I know you are Oroku. Yes, I know who you are, Oroku Saki. You know my master Ushi. You killed him. And murdered him back then. And then Shredder takes with the mask, and of course Shredder is Oroku Saki. He's like this. You see that scar on his face like this. Now I will finish what I started with your ear. Tries to attack his weapon, but Splinter's able to use like Mikey's nunchucks, because Mikey threw it over there, remember, so he's able to use it. Everyone was like, we all die. He will say, but there's so much more for you. For when you die, you know, he tries to, you know, he's hanging over to the side. Tries to pull out a knife, a weapon to kill Splinter, but it doesn't work. Yeah. He falls in the back of a truck, and let's just say he gets canned. And he says, without honor. The NYPD then arrives, and April was rehired to do a report on the case. You know, Casey was like, hey, and she was still growing, he was like this. He's like, he's like, Casey, shut up and kiss me. I got a report to do, and then they kiss. Like, yeah, April, and then they also throws, you know, hug on Splinter. He's like, you know, master and father, you know, they hug him. Yeah, it's a good moment there. Because they're all overjoyed to see him. You know, like, they try to come up with some words. Yeah, we did it. They try to say the words like, I got the new word, and they think, somebody serious, but Splinter lightens up and says, I got to do a cowabunga. He's like, I made it funny. You know, Splinter says, and they all say, cowabunga, teenage ultimate power. And then they're just dancing at the end. You have talking Splinter, all dancing. And the movie ends there, also with the, you know, the chief talking to the teenagers. But good ending, great movie. So that's Teenage Mutant Turtles, the 1990 movie. Yes. And that's the ending of the film. Okay, like I said, folks, again, I love this movie. This is still the best Turtles movie, in my opinion. Still the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Still the best Turtles film, in my opinion. Okay, what do I like about it? I love the story. I think it's good. You know, that takes itself more seriously. I love that it's a bit more darker. I think I prefer the darker version of it, but this also has comedy in it. This mixes comedy in it, and it works. It does have a silly moment, but it's still dark at times. A lot of times it is a dark film, but it's fun, it's entertaining, it's got a good story. I like all the characters. Now, I'll get to some issues before I do that, but I like the characters, the Turtles and stuff. Of course, I love the makeup, I love the Jim Henson's, you know, work from his team. You know, the animatronics, the way the Turtles look, the costumes look fantastic. It looks so real, in my opinion. It's better than CGI. I'll take practical over CGI any day, but that's just me. You know, it seems like nowadays in Hollywood and movies, we don't get animatronics. It's all now CGI. When you think about it, everything is CGI in movies now. It's a time where, you know, they look great. Now, some stuff does not look his age well in the movie, but this film I still think holds up. It has a good story. I love the Turtles. I love their brotherly moments with each other. There's just a lot of great moments in here of them. You can buy them as a family, and Splinter as their father. Splinter was great. He's such a good father and very wise. Shredder's a great villain. I like him in that him and Splinter have a history. It makes sense that they know each other. It's just not out of the blue. No, they give these two, they give them a Splinter and Shredder history, which I know they touch upon that upon the 2003 cartoon as well. And the original cartoon even is different. There's more campier, but at least they have a background. 2014 one, there was no background between them two, but they do have it in here, and it works. And Shredder's a great villain. He's taken seriously. He's very threatening. He's menacing. He's willing to take over the city, willing to commit crimes, and willing to convince teenagers to do bad stuff. That the world doesn't think that they're useless, that they're nobodies, that they belong to him. They're outsiders, and that they belong to him. They belong to. He wants to become full members of the Foot. Shredder, the actor that played him, was great. The lead cast, Judith Hogg is still the best. April O'Neil, in my opinion. She's still a gorgeous woman. She's great as April O'Neil. She should have came back for the sequels the same. Elias Coates, he's great as Casey Jones. He is still the best live-action Casey Jones, in my opinion. Still the best. His lines are funny as well. I do like it, though, in a scene where he accidentally falls on his butt, But, well, it happens because he's sitting on a swing, and the swing breaks when he's eating an apple. I thought that was funny. But, yeah, some good quotes in here. He does come back for the third movie, but doesn't have a whole lot to do, which I'll get to more of that down the road on that. Like, good down, like, oh man, I could go a little deep in this action about now. I do like it though when he gets turtle wing, especially if that was funny. Had some pizza over the other day. Even, Raphael ends up a bit. Raphael feels like he has most of the character in this film, but Leonardo is still, of course, the leader. He jokes around too, but you do get the moments that he's a good leader in here. Michelangelo, funny. My only issue, I said, was with Donatello. You don't see him building any gadgets or anything. He's basically Michelangelo Part 2. So, yeah. But yeah, but I love this movie. It's all I can say about it. Great movie, good characters. I just think they could have done Donnie's personality a bit better. He's still cool. I always thought he was a cool character. Even though he's the smartest of the Turtles, he's not Michelangelo. He's not jokey. It's like him and Leo are the more serious ones of both of them. Rock's the one with the temper. Mikey's the one that's super Michelangelo. That's the one that's the jokiest of them all. But nonetheless, I still think the cast is really good. I thought the directing and writing, I love the music score. That song, Turtle Power was good. The Turtle theme is good. Shredder's theme, I think, is great. It's a good story. It's like you just buy them as a family. It's got a good lot. It's really well came spirit. The film has some good heart to it as well. For being a superhero film, it works. The cinematography looks great. Looks really good. Great villain. Good story. Good characters. Good villain. Like I said, just with them being babies, just some shots don't hold up well in my opinion, but it's 1990, let that go. And what they did with Donnie, but just my biggest issue is what they did with Donatello, But at least he uses his stick, his usual weapon. And of course they gave the Turtles their mask. But despite that though, this is a classic film. Still the best Turtles movie in my opinion. I cannot hate on it. I love this movie. Still the best. This will always, in my opinion, be the best Turtles movie, the best Ninja Turtles movie. It is a shame that parents did bow down to the demands of parents complaining about weapons and stuff, which they should never do. No, doesn't matter what parents say. I mean, the movie made money because the following year, in 1991, you got Turtles 2. So, even if they didn't bow down to the commands, they still probably would have had another sequel if they would have just, not bow down to the commands. It would have happened anyway. But, yeah, you don't need to bow down to parents' commands. No. It's not their decision how movies are. If you don't like your kids seeing the movies, then stay calm and watch the 80s cartoon. It's got 10 seasons. They could have just watched, it was, well, not at the time it didn't, but But if you don't want your kids watching a darker version of the Turtles, then stick with the 80s cartoon. But if you want them to introduce them to the Turtles, I definitely recommend this movie. I highly recommend it. If you want to get into Ninja Turtles, definitely watch this movie. I recommend it. So I love this movie. So Teenage Mutant Turtles, 1990 movie, the original film. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. a thumbs up for this movie. And my rating for this film is 5 out of 5 stars. So guys, all I can say is cowabunga, and tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of this movie in your opinion? And have you seen it? If you haven't seen the movie, please don't watch the review. Just ignore the thumbnail of the review. Don't even watch the review. But definitely, I appreciate it if you do. But I just don't want you to spoil the movie for yourself. But guys, tell me in the comments down below what do you think of this movie in my opinion. So, yeah. Alright. And I want to do maybe some more reviews today. I don't know. I'm going to try. But anyway, the next review, hopefully I can do this today. Just wanted to show you guys something. Okay, my next superhero review movie is, because this was in June 15th when this movie came out. I said one by months. Next is Dick Tracy. This will be the next review. So, stay tuned for Dick Tracy starring Warren Beatty. And also directed by him, I believe. And also starring Al Pacino. So, Dick Tracy is next. So stay tuned for this. Alright guys. And also, a movie I got yesterday, another superhero movie I plan on reviewing, which I've never seen, starring Robert Townsend. I mean, I've seen him in Up, Up, and Away. I'm going to review it when I get to the 2000 era. But anyway, this film I've never seen before is called The Meteor Man. Just showing it off. Yeah. This will be a review someday down the road. Not anytime soon, but probably in January or enough. So anyway guys, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Turtle Power. Let me know what you thought of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 film. And stay tuned for today for my review of Dick Tracy, starring Warren Beatty. So stay tuned for that. So see you guys later. Thanks for watching.